No, that is.
Give me one reason to stay here, and I'll turn right back around. Give me one reason to stay here, yes, and I'll turn right back around. I said I don't wanna leave you lonely. You gotta make me change my mind. Baby, I got your number. Oh, and I know that you're mine. You know that I called you too many times. Well, you can call me, baby. You can call me anytime. You got to call me. Give me one reason to stay. Yes, and I'll turn right back around. Give me one reason to stay. Yes, and I'll turn right back around. I said I don't wanna leave you lonely. You gotta make me change my mind. I don't wanna watch you squeeze me. They might take over my life. I don't wanna watch you squeeze me. They might take over my life.
And it looks like we have another one, guys. Looks like we have another one.
How's that?
Yeah, guys. So we just wanted to open up in a way that we've seen many times. We have another incident of what we would perceive to be at this moment racially motivated, and then possibly even politically motivated. It's hard to say at this point. We're just speculating. The official investigations are not yet handed in, but we do have another individual that was attacked. He was wearing a MAGA hat, and he's no longer with us because of it. Bianca?
You're right, Thad. Well, first of all, thank you. Welcome to Latinos Trump. Thanks for tuning in for this LFT news, breaking news is what we call it. Thanks to Jen Lo, who called immediately, and she's right now live with us, but she is also working in the background right now, just digging and making sure that we get, firsthand knowledge, and we're going to get this to the White House as soon as possible here, as soon as we're able to confirm things. We are in communication with a family through a friend. A lot of people have been saying this was a hoax. This was not a hoax. And so that's why we wanted to come in and bring some light to it. And through all of our pages, we need you guys to share it. So that is right. Bianca for Texas, you can follow me on any of the pages, also at LFT, official LFT 2020 pages. You guys, it says Douglas here. He was a good guy. He was a friend of mine on Facebook, John Douglas. We thank you so much. He was, from what we're being told right now, he was openly gay, a Hispanic. So where's the LGBTQ community, right? Black Lives Matter, is what they're trying to say. We don't know for sure, guys. We're trying to dig up as much of the story. Jen and I were reading the obituary, and the obituary pretty much says that he was at a hospital. He was waiting for he went to go visit a friend, was waiting for another friend who had his, was going to come get him. He decided to walk down to go get some cigarettes and was beaten really severely, badly by two black guys. And the girlfriend of one of the guys felt so bad, y'all, that she stayed behind because, she gave him her phone number to call 911. The police never came. Guys, this was in, I believe, Thad, does it say this happened in Massachusetts there? Or
Let's
Rhode
see.
Island?
I believe this was Massachusetts. I mean, the gentleman he did live in Massachusetts.
Do we know if Massachusetts has ordered to defund the police?
I do not, but I can definitely pull that up. Jen, do you
Yeah.
know?
I'm sorry. You want me to pull up the police record?
No, Jen, do you know if for by some just out of curiosity, do you know if Massachusetts is one of the ones that's pushing for defunding the police?
I'll look into it.
Yeah, I'm curious because they call 911 and the police never came. So we've already heard from one source that they apparently that someone has called the police department to verify that this even happened, and the police doesn't even want to talk about it. They're like trying to act like it didn't happen because they're going to be negligent now that they didn't respond to this matter. And do you blame them? You get a call, you're a possible Black Lives Matter situation again, Trump MAGA hat deal. They can't even go out and do their job because now they're looking to, here we go. Massachusetts Democrat Senate candidates both back defunding the police. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A Hispanic, openly gay Hispanic has lost his life for wearing a MAGA hat, and the police could not respond to him. The girlfriend of one of the guys who beat him up is the one that actually picked him up, put him in her car, trying to get
both back defunding police.
Oh, here you go.
Anthony Oliver on June 9th, 2020.
I think your system's talking.
The two Democrats running for Senate in Massachusetts, Senator Ed Markey and Representative Joe Kennedy III, openly supported the growing calls to defund the police during a televised debate on Monday. Markey, who has held his seat since 2013, was the first to agree with the defunding movement, which has gained traction through protests across the country following the death of George Floyd while in Minneapolis police custody.
I just wanted to go ahead and share that because it's funny that you had that sneaking suspicion, and you're right, of course. We're seeing a mass global change in cultural ability to resist race war. This is what it amounts to, in my opinion, of course.
Absolutely.
We're seeing people okay with attacking other races because of messages that have been portrayed in mainstream media about punching Nazis, etc. I was just having this discussion this morning how it started with this, punching Nazis. All of a sudden, there's television shows that say it's okay to punch a Nazi, or television stars that say it's okay to punch a Nazi. This increasing tension, increasing violence, it's bubbling over, and we're seeing very real instances of people being actually politically and racially attacked and targeted. And the mainstream media is silent. There's nothing. They're not saying anything. As a matter of fact,
they don't want to pick up the story. We couldn't find a credible source, reporting it because apparently they don't want to talk about it. It's a gay Hispanic. Oh my God, nobody talk about it. Beaten by two Black guys. We had the other girl that was shot. You were telling me about that one. That girl was shot. We just had Vanessa Guillon, who was murdered on the base, serving her country, and she was murdered by a Black guy. Oh, but all of a sudden, nobody wants to talk about it. Because it doesn't fit the narrative of the white man came after you. We had two fallen police officers in the South Texas, in the border. Actually, they were called to a scene, and as soon as they walked into the scene, they were shot to death, both of them. So we got fallen officers now. We got this gay Hispanic, and those two officers were Hispanic, by the way. Where's the outrage from the media?
The woman that was shot in the head as well, and she leaves behind a 3-year-old baby. And
where did that one happen, Jen?
That one happened because she said all lives matter to some BLM protesters and was shot in the face. Let me look for the story so I can.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, that, I mean,
while
what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I mean, I know you're outraged. I'm outraged.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is basically what we face every time we go out and voice our opinions. This is just what it is at this point. And it's not only just what it is. I mean, the mainstream media is basically justifying it. And in my opinion, again, this is just in my opinion, I'll make that clear, that now blood is on their hands. You know, the same thing that they were saying in front of my district attorney's office, you know, in regards to the shooting here in Salt Lake City, where the man was shot 34 times. His last name was Palacios, Bernard Palacios. You know, now we have an instance, or two instances, clearly two instances of people being shot because of what mainstream media said. Clearly, you know, basically this man was targeted either for being gay or being Hispanic or wearing a MAGA hat. Pick your poison.
Yep, that's right. Elaine here says the sad truth is that we don't care. They don't care about any lives that were killed by black violence. It's all agenda to force Marxism. Thank you, Elaine. We do know that. Jen, what are your thoughts? I know you were extremely outraged when you called me about this. We were like, let's get down to the bottom of it. What are you finding out right now?
So right now we're in contact with a close friend of their family, and my source told me that she personally spoke to his sister, and his sister did confirm that this did in fact happen to her brother. And I believe one person has been arrested. I don't know if the other person, if they're in the middle of the investigation right now. So there's not a lot, I guess, the police are going to talk about with people calling in, trying to get more information. So we're going to have to wait. Right now, we're just waiting to hear back from the family to see if a family member would like to talk about it, or say their story about this heinous hate crime.
I'm going to go ahead and play this video real quick, guys.
Jessica Doty.
The downtown canal, so popular during the day, was also a peaceful place Jessica Doty Whitaker liked to walk at night. But over the holiday weekend, violence here took her life.
I'll never probably ever get that image out of my head of what happened.
Whitaker's fiance says they were walking the canal around 3 a.m. Sunday morning when they got into a racially charged argument with another group of people, 4 men and a woman. He says one guy pulled a gun, and Jose did too, but they talked it out and all walked away. Minutes later, though, shots rang out along Canal Court. Jessica was hit.
She just fell. I turned around and I opened fire too. But that's just a reaction. I didn't see nobody really. Hopefully I didn't hit nobody, but.
Metro Police still investigating and searching for suspects. Jessica died at the hospital. A 24-year-old home health nurse who planned to go back to school in August, get married next year, continue to raise her 3-year-old son.
Just justice.
Actually, guys, this story is making me a little more upset.
He won't even probably remember when he gets older. Besides pictures and videos.
We're going to try to let him not forget.
Yeah, so they completely ignored the fact that there were words that they knew were used. You know, if we're making direct reference to Black Lives Matter movement and a rebuttal of all lives matter, and that possibly being the cause of these actions, I think that is noteworthy. I think that needs to be explained to the general public, that is the kind of discourse that results in being shot in the head in a park with your children around and your husband around.
Yeah, and Dad, there was another one. Wasn't it in New York? The male was walking with his little baby across the street, and they just pulled up and shot him too. I mean, it's just like there's the rule of law is out. Nobody cares. It's just, you know, people killing people. No big deal. Oh, well, you know, it's just another day, and everything gets, you know, it doesn't fit the media. So they just, you know, ignore it and keep on moving because it didn't fit their narrative. And this is the thing. It's not just so much the need to be the actual reporters. Sometimes it's the higher ups. The higher ups are the ones that are like, no, we're not running with that story, because they're the ones who really make the decisions.
Yeah,
right?
and chief, that's right. And there have been some journalists that have come forward to complain about that.
because they're not being let do their job. You know, it's like the police officers, they want to do their job, but if you work under a Democrat, mayor and a Democrat chief of police, your hands get tied. You get told to stand down. Just like Portland, look, they tell them to stand down. They can't defend y'all to go have a rally or protest or march. No, because they tell them to stand down, so they can't even do their job. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And so that if people are just tuning in, can you please bring up Jesse's obituary again so that people can know that the reason we're on this and we're breaking this story is because we received word that Jesse Owsley, who is an open 37-year-old gay Hispanic American, was murdered because of his Trump hat. He was leaving the hospital, walking to get some cigarettes, and was brutally murdered. And no one wants to cover the story. No one wants to talk about it. Police didn't respond.
Is this the actual obituary? This is not the exact.
No, it's just a post on Reddit. But apparently he was going to buy cigarettes, and he was, attacked for wearing his MAGA hat by two black men. So he was essentially beaten to death. The girlfriend of one of the attackers stayed behind. I guess they ran off, and she tried to lend him his phone to call for help. And it seems like he was bleeding internally in his head. And when the police never showed up when the 911 call, she put him in her car and she took him to the hospital, but he died on his way to the hospital.
Yeah.
Can you see that, Thad?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very unfortunate. It says Jesse L. Owsley, 37 years old. 37 years old. He's a year younger than myself. 37 years old. East Providence in Westport, Massachusetts, died early last Wednesday at Rhode Island Hospital after being stricken at the home of his cousin in East Providence. After being assaulted earlier in Fall River, Massachusetts, Jesse was born in Providence, the beloved son of James W. and Michelle Campioni. Owsley, Jesse was the longtime companion of Justin Jamel. He and Justin operated a resale shop in Fall River and were well known at area flea markets. It's important to read these things out loud about these people because all too often they're not given the proper humanity in mainstream media. They will make it a point to humanize any and every victim that they wish to publicize and profit off of, but never these true victims. Never these actual victims that fall victim only because of the mass vitriol and rhetoric that they unleash upon the general public. And this is just something that we're apparently we're just supposed to get used to. We're supposed to just get used to people like this falling between the cracks. We're supposed to just get used to people getting shot in parks. This I said this last week. It's like how many videos in the last week have you seen of people going up to car windows and trying to punch through car windows and many times succeeding and then just being dragged off by these people fearing for their own lives. And then all of a sudden you're seeing mugshots of these people just trying to escape on television and on the internet.
Yep. Yeah, we got Barb Pena here saying, I didn't hear anything about this. I live in Rhode Island, Providence. Yes, because they're purposely keeping out of the media, Barb. Even the local media doesn't want to pick it up. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to bring light to it. The police did not respond to the 911 call to get him help. They didn't respond. So the girlfriend of the guys who actually beat him pretty much took him, was trying to get him to the hospital or somewhere, and she let him use the phone to call 911. So, Thad, keep reading that. He had a heart of gold. Keep reading that.
Yeah, hold on. Barb Pena lives in this area, and she hasn't heard about this. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that should be a red flag to people. So, at Barb Pena, what I would say is go out there and make this a big deal. Make this a big deal. Go on your streets, take a group of your church going folks out there and stand on a corner, say some prayers for this gentleman. Make sure that people don't just not know about this situation, because everybody needs to know. This needs to be on the minds of every American in the United States that does not participate in Black Lives Matter rallies. Mm-hmm.
Where's the LGBTQ community, Thad? Why are they not mad that this kid got murdered?
It's sad. It's
Because
super sad.
he doesn't because he was a Trump supporter.
It's very selective. It's very selective, and I do believe that it is politically charged. I 100% agree with you. 100%.
Jen, did you pull this up right now?
Yeah, this is a post by the Common Sense Conservative page.
Okay.
It seems like more independent medias are picking it up, which is really sad because the mainstream media should be picking it up. They've got the money and the time to dig and call investigators' offices. They have the resources to get to the bottom of it. It shouldn't take independents like all of us to have to dig and you know, it's just it really pains me. It puts a knot in my stomach, and I can't believe that the media is hiding these sorts of things. If you Google MAGA hat assaults, so many different stories come out from people getting beaten. And then you've got this NASCAR guy that says, oh, they left a noose in my garage, and it happens to be a rope that's been in there since last year. But the media was all over this. I mean, they had a parade for this guy. Same thing with the Jussie Smollett. You know, they're willing to go to the end of the earth to create these hoaxes in the media and tug at people's heartstrings. Well, what about, you know, Jussie? What about this? This man lost his life for wearing a freaking MAGA hat.
Yes.
Barb Pena said she definitely will do. Good. That's what we need. We need everybody to go out there who sees this to go out there and do exactly as I suggested. You need to go out there and make sure that the people do know this kid's name and that they do know what happened to this kid.
Actually, we should start. We need a tweet. We need a tweet and get it trending.
Great. Hashtag.
Yeah, hashtag. I think it was Jesse Olsley, his name, Justice for Jesse Olsley. Listen, just like we did for David Mead says, I know that kid. OMG. I think we need to start just like we did with Vanessa Guillon. They were like, say her name. Say her name.
Yeah,
they said George Floyd's name. So this is say his name.
Yes.
Say his name, Jesse Olsley, just like we did for Vanessa. Say her name. Say his name, Jesse Olsley. Justice for Jesse Olsley. Hashtag justice for Jesse Olsley. And I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah. So Brandon right here, he says at the end, things like this disturb me to the core. You should be very disturbed that you're not being allowed information. You know what I mean? That's the most disturbing thing about it is that they're not saying it.
That's right. Say his name. Everybody, if you have Twitter accounts, please go trend it. Hashtag justice for Jesse Olsley. Say his name. That's what we need to start doing. Say his name. Believe it, it does work. For the past week, I've been working to get the president to say Vanessa Guillon's name, and today he's being briefed about it, and he will be putting out a statement. So our voices do matter. We just have to get it to the right people, and we have to be persistent, just like the left. We can't just one person call. We have to do a chain of events. Call the White House and say, hashtag justice for Jesse Olsley. Make them be proactive and look and see what in the world has happened to this kid. This is outrageous.
And what you just said right now, real quick. Okay, so let's get this back over here like this. You said something right now that I'm messing this up. Go ahead, you guys fix it. Okay, so you mentioned oh man, did I just lose my train of thought? What did you just say, Bianca? Refresh my memory real quickly. What did you just say, please?
That they should be outraged that it didn't just take me. We had an army of people, we put people into action, so our voices do matter.
Okay,
so we had to be persistent. Like the left is persistent, we had to be persistent. Okay, that's what I was saying. Got it?
I found myself. So this is just the way that it is. Online, the other side, the leftists, they have an army of people ready and willing to incessantly go after anybody that disagrees with them. Yes, we all know this, right? So that includes calling people's places of business, destroying their reviews online. That also goes into calling any bosses or people that would contribute money to their businesses. You know, this is the kind of things that they do. They incessantly go after people until they are canceled. That's how they are effective. It's the same way. It's the same way with stuff like this. You have people that are online just dogpiling on these situations. So that's what we need from our side at this point in time. They've been doing this for a long time. We've already known about it. What we need is everybody to do something, because these people are manic in getting President Trump out.
Now that you actually said that, also, just so that people know exactly how persistent the left is, the 2 officers that were gunned down doing their job when they got called to that call, that what happened is that the daughter tweeted something for her dad saying Blue Lives Matter, and BLM came after the daughter and they attacked her on Twitter. Jen, do you know a little bit more about that? I think you were reading some of those tweets, weren't you?
What daughter?
The daughter of the 2 officers, one of the officers that was gunned down in the Rio Grande Valley.
I'm not that familiar with that story yet.
I thought it was you that was telling me she was attacked by BLM on Twitter.
I did see some post about that, about them attacking the daughter and how disgusting that was, but I haven't looked into it.
Okay, all right. So, guys, this is what we got. This poor Hispanic guy, 37 years old, was beaten to death for wearing a MAGA hat, on the street as he was leaving the hospital. And mainstream media doesn't want to talk about it. It should be breaking news. LGBTQ should be, outraged that they killed somebody in their own community, I mean, burn, loot, murder the Democrat. Well, that's the thing, John Douglas. Our side, we don't believe in that. We don't believe in burning things down. We don't believe in doing that. We actually believe in the rule of law and order, and we believe in justice, right? But apparently we've gone far left from that, far left. So anyway, those are my thoughts, guys. I don't know with that. What else you got, Jen? What else you got?
Russ is saying that that it happened. Well, that's what Russ is saying.
Yeah, there you go. Russ is saying that happened in my city. She put a tribute and she was attacked on Twitter with disgusting tweets. Yeah. That is unfortunate. You can't even mourn your dad who was at his job, and you're just trying to, accredit it. I'm telling you something, man. Let me tell you. I don't know who her mother is, but let me tell you something. Dad, you know where I come from. Listen, I ain't playing.
No, we're from the dirty South.
Listen, I'm from the dirty South. That's right. I'm from the dirty, dirty, dirty South.
We're talking a lot dirtier than anybody could possibly think.
A lot dirtier than anybody could possibly think. And let me tell you something. Not that I would ever. That's not what I ever promote or do. But let me tell you something. If somebody did that to my son, because he was putting that, commemorating his father for going to work, and if something like that happened, let me tell you something. You people don't want to do that to me. You will not like the results. I will be in everybody's face in Washington, D.C. I will sleep outside the Capitol. I will pester every single politician until they can't even fathom seeing me anymore. I will be all over the freaking place. You will not even, I will turn every stone, and I will make sure that everybody gets prosecuted to the fullest. I mean, I would unleash a wrath, and not even that, not even just in the realm that we live in. Like, I will even use the mighty force of our maker, of God, and I would ask him to unleash a wrath like no other. And I'm telling you, I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting that people literally applaud killing police officers or anyone who wears a service badge that goes, any first responder that applauds that person. Oh, but where was the rhetoric? Thad, do you not remember reading those? We're going to defund the police. Oh, by the way, we need a permit. Can you come protect us? No, you moron. You're asking to defund us. Why would we go and sit there and put a parameter there to protect you? It's the point, isn't it? I mean, this is what is outrageous. Hypocrisy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that further iterates. I'll give you, just give me 1 second, Jen. That further iterates what I was saying. about, basically all of these people are in some kind of catatonic dream state and just going with whatever they're told while they're being hypnotized or whatever the instance is, because like I was explaining earlier with the people that attack the cars, they don't understand the gravity of what they are doing. They don't understand the reality of their actions until they're being grinded in between two vehicles.
Yeah.
And that person is driving off and they're left in a bloody heap, and then all of a sudden everybody around them is, oh my God, he just ran that guy over, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I am in real life, I can't behave this way in real life or this happens. You know what I mean? They're in a dream state. They don't understand. You don't see us going crazy online and attacking people in large groups like a rabid zombie freaking horde, because we don't try and control people's lives. We don't do that. We try and focus on making ourselves successful for our children's future. There's no foresight. There's no foresight, and it's maniacal and it's maddening.
Yeah, I think
I want to
go ahead, Jen. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I want to just add to what Bianca was saying as well. It's the media. The media is calling rioters peaceful protesters. Literally, they're peaceful protesters. Peaceful. That's
weaponized language. Weaponized language.
Yes, it's all you keep seeing in the media is the peaceful protesters. And then you have people like Maxine Waters saying, "Get out there and push back and punch." I mean, come on. I've seen politician after politician. You had what's his name, Keith Ellis, right? Posting the Antifa handbook on Twitter. I mean, they're enticing this. They're enticing the violence. They're sending out their subliminal messaging saying, go out there and beat people, riot, loot, and we're gonna label it peaceful. Don't worry, we control the narrative. We got your back. We got this. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly, Jen. We've got Judy Conaway here saying, what the hell can we do? I'm getting mad. Judy, we need to start electing people into office. Like, we need boots on the ground. We need to multiply. We need to bring awareness to our neighbors, to our family. We need a radical change in government. We need to keep Trump in. We need to send him reinforcements. I've been saying this all along. We need to send him reinforcement. And I don't mean the swamp people. Quit sending the swamp people who've been there for 20, 30 years back. Send in fresh blood, ready to go back to fight for this country with a backbone, with fearless, with boldness. That's what we do. And as for us, who are living every day, and if you have a job and you can't, really go out there and, take it to the streets or protest or whatever, or rally, you know what? Then you start writing your local elected officials and you tell them you're going to hold them accountable for these matters. You're going to hold them. You keep saying, hey, justice for Jesse here, Ousley. Hey, justice for Vanessa Guillon. Hey, start say their names is what you tell them. Start calling your representatives locally and all the way to Senate and the congressionals. Call the White House, guys. Call the White House. Believe it or not, they do listen. If you just call them, they will listen. They take your voice and they do tally and they say, hey, if 1,000 of us were to call, I mean, come on. I think we can have 1,000 voices called today and say, hey, we demand justice for Jesse Ousley. I guarantee you they get 1,000 calls today on this matter. They're going to be like, who's Jesse Ousley? Everybody keeps calling. They're going to then start looking into it and be like, we have a problem here. And that's how you get things done, guys. We have to also push back. We also have to be a voice. So don't give up. Don't think you can't do anything. There's lots of ways to get involved. There really is. And if not, Thad, what's the number to the White House? Do we have that real quick? Let me see if I can find it.
I'll pull it up.
Can I? Okay.
Well,
You're pulling it up?
I'll go ahead and get it.
I might actually have it programmed in my phone, guys.
I'm sure you do.
I actually do. So, hold on. Let me see. I can give you that.
What the first number it gave me was to Wayfair.
Oh, wow. Let's not even get started on Wayfair.
No, we won't.
Okay, I have the White House social office. That's not the office we need to call. Hang on a second. That's not the one. Hang on. I have several numbers in there, but those are not the ones we have to call. The ones where they actually tally the stuff of what you're calling for. Let me give you actually that number. We need to give it out to everybody. Thad, you got anything else while I look up for this number?
I got this. I got this website right here.
Yeah, we've got that, but is there a number on there?
I didn't see one. Let me see. But while I'm looking at this, I mean, like I said, we're seeing this bar dropped every day, and the lower and lower it drops, it's going to be near impossible to to get that bar back where it was. It's going to be such an uphill battle to make any strides back in the direction to where we once were. So every time we lose another rung on this ladder, that the bar is sitting on.
Click on the get involved, Thad. Right there at the bottom, click on the get involved. Okay, scroll down. There's going to be 2 numbers on here. Yeah, call the president. See, call the president. There it is, 202-456-1111. Let me tell you something. Those comments do go to the president. I know that for a fact. They also have the switchboard, 202-456-1414. The switchboard can actually take you to I think you can actually ask for like the media department or something, like press department or something like that. You can call them, but definitely call and leave your comments. I promise you, they do listen to those. And if we have 1,000 calls in that go in today and say justice for Jesse Ousley, I guarantee you they're going to be like, who in the world is Jesse? And they will start digging in and looking into it. And we will start getting something happening here, guys. So I hope everybody got that. 202-456-1111. I'm going to type it here in the comments so that it stays here in case anybody wants to know. Are we going to have anything else? Do we have Jen, you have any last minute things, anything else that our viewers need to be to know?
No, I agree that we should definitely be calling the White House and demanding justice for Jesse Ousley. We don't even know if you're dealing with a very liberal police department. I think I have another source that said that they called the police department and let me read this to you. He's saying that they called the police department and that the police department said they weren't aware of the situation.
Oh, of course they aren't.
Hold
on, Dad. I needed that number, the switchboard number. 202-456
1111.
No, that was the regular to leave a comment. What's the other one?
1414.
Got it. Okay. I've left it in the comments here, and that way everybody, if you need that number, there you go. I think Jen is pulling something up.
Yeah, I think that's that. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, we thank you for tuning in. Please share this message, and let's get something done, guys.
Ooh. Excuse me, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. Please do share the information that you received today.
That's a wrap. See you later. Peace out.